the answer I had 2 days ago was that they stop at 1.5. Okay? The answer I have today, I hadn't thought of that today. But the answer I have today is they might go a little higher. And the reason I think they might go higher is I think central banks get worried when the amount of government debt explodes on them. So they may get a little concerned about that. But somewhere just right at the rate of inflation or just below it is where I think they stop. I don't think historically, they've gone above the rate of inflation, and I don't see that happening this time around. Now, I do believe that Janet Yellen does not get reappointed. So somebody else will be making this decision. And we don't know who that person is, and we don't know where their biases are going to be, but they will have been appointed by President Trump. So they're probably not going to want to raise the interest expense on the government debt all that fast, make the whole thing worse. So I think the Fed, the Fed says they're not very political. We're all political, so I'm thinking they don't go too far. But something like 1.5 is subject to revisions if we get a little more inflation. We could get a little more inflation, by the way, because we had the commodity cycle depressed inflation. It does so with a nice lag. So we're now, oil prices fell back in the fourth quarter of 2014. So now we've had, a year and a half, 2 years of stabilizing. I guess the bottom of the oil price was in January 11th of this year, $27, something like that on the spot. So we had enough stability there that's no longer pushing price deflationary pressure. And then we do see a fairly tight labor market developing, and so you could get a little pressure from there, but I really think the tight labor market is more likely to be a negative factor on corporate profits than it is a positive factor on more inflation. So I'm not reading too much into that. But if you put all these things together, it's possible that a Fed could move a little faster, but I don't think it'll be this Fed. It'll be the next Fed.